Disney Channel original movies. I'm a total sucker for DCOMs, especially all the little holiday ones. But nobody ever talks about Twas the Night, the one with Bryan Cranston. Now, it's not out of character for Bryan Cranston to be in a TV movie. I just think it's weird that everybody completely forgot about it. Anyway, our hero Danny starts us off with a classic DCOM monologue. Santa's all tied up, and we have our "I bet you're wondering how I got here" moment.
That's right, the bearded one really exists. But I'm getting a little ahead of my story here.
Flashback, and it's Christmas Eve, but Danny doesn't realize it. He thinks it's the 23rd. And apparently, he's put off all his shopping until the last minute. And he's got no money, and for some reason, a financial obligation to his family. I don't think he has a job, and it seems like a policy that everybody buys everybody things. He tries to sweet talk everybody into giving him money, but eventually he figures out he can just sell his stuff to his brother Peter.
Hey, sweetie. What's all that stuff?
I've been Christmas shopping.
Shopping? Where?
Annie's room.
Daniel Francis Wrigley, get out here now!
His parents, Dr. Weir, who's the leader of the Atlantis expedition, and Colonel Lionel Pendergast, the commander of the Prometheus, are both very upset with him and they think he should die. Danny wishes his family could just be as cool as his Uncle Nick, that he'd like to take this moment to establish.
Who's the victim here? He's not complaining. Come on, it's just like Uncle Nick says. I'm just helping him share the wealth.
Uncle Nick, huh? It's too bad it's always someone else's wealth that Uncle Nick is so eager to share.
Now, Uncle Nick is the bomb. He is, okay? You just don't understand him.
But Nick's a little tied up at the moment. He's being interrogated by a guy who looks like he just walked out of a Tiny Desk concert and Bill Gates. And appropriately, they're named Harry and Bill. But they swapped the names, because you can't call the Bill Gates guy Bill. Somebody's gonna get mad about that. Nick has been scamming these guys and they want their $30,000 back. They threaten his laptop, aka Lappy.
Please be careful of Lappy. It's very sensitive.
Sensitive? Nick's got a sensitive computer. Oh, you ever see what happens when you pour a hot cup of cocoa over a sensitive little computer, Nick? It ain't pretty.
No, don't, not the Lappy!
Which holds all of Nick's accounts, businesses, and scams on it. This scene was the sole reason for me thinking that a laptop could do literally anything and my life would change if I got one. And it was true. He tries to talk his way out, but he's not getting around muscle man Elliot. Somehow he convinces them to let him go so that he can work on getting their money together. But if it were me and I'm already a kidnapper, I'm hanging out with this guy until I get my money back. Wherever you gotta go, I'm going with you. So the second they leave, Nick bolts. A chase ensues when he accidentally runs into Elliot. The cartoon aspects of the chase are really cute. It's a family movie. Nick tries to lose Elliot in Santa's village and hides in the back rooms. He finds Santa blowing up the bathroom and steals his costume. And I liked that they had to rig a little light inside that bathroom just to highlight his socks. Like, where must that light be? Anyway, Elliot continues to be the strangest thug in cinematic history.
You! They're all waiting for you. Yes, yes! Well, thank you, Elliot.
How do you know my name?
Well, I'm Santa, am I not? Ho, ho, ho! Have you been a good boy?
Of course I've been a good boy.
Have you really? Yes. Okay.
Nick gets out of there and the bus gives him a big idea.
No place like home.
Back at the house, Colonel Pendergast is reading The Night Before Christmas to the other actors, when who should show up at the front door but Uncle Nick. Nick has a nice relationship with everybody but the Colonel, yet his bond with Danny is emphasized. The tension is interrupted quickly because both the parents are supposed to be doctors, and there's a big reindeer flu out there, and it's all hands on deck. They have no choice but to leave the kids with Nick for the night. And as Nick is reading The Night Before Christmas, the annoying sister starts to poke holes in the big Santa lie.
I was about 5 when I figured it all out. The whole present delivery setup thing seemed kind of fishy, so I did the math. For Santa to get to all the world's children on Christmas Eve, he would have to travel at about 650 miles per second. I mean, that's 300,000 times the speed of sound.
Wow.
And before the parents head out, the script needs us to know just one more time that the dad hates Nick for no good reason.
Maybe you guys ought to hit the sack early tonight.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Hey, the sooner you get to bed, the sooner Santa comes.
We're not done with the book yet.
Thank you, Uncle Nick. Come on, guys, hugs, kisses, let's go. Off to bed.
See you, buddy.
Come on, Danny, you too.
What? That is not even 9 o'clock. You gotta be kidding me. Dad, come on. I want to stay out with Uncle Nick and then hang out. We got stuff to talk about.
We can hang with Uncle Nick when we're all together. I would like you up in your room. You can catch up on some of your reading, please.
Look, I'll go to bed when you want me to go to bed.
Get to your room right now. Now, you should be totally grounded for all the stuff you pulled today.
Merry Christmas.
This scene is sad. The Colonel is clearly uncomfortable with his kids being exposed to his own brother, and it's nothing nefarious, he's just a bad influence. Like, you ain't evil, you just suck. So the kids go to bed, and Nick gets back to solving his main problem of needing to pay these people back. But via 2001 tech, these guys hack right into his desktop. But trick! Nick has dropped a virus icon onto your webcam feed. Apparently this virus is gonna wreck every computer within 50 miles. And guess whose sleigh runs on computers in 2001 because of the reindeer flu? Santa crashes on the roof, and time stands still as he materializes in the living room. Now this is my Santa. The voice, the design of his costume, everything is perfect. Why is it so rare you see literal actual Santa in movies? Santa's here to throw the virus icon in the trash. Once that's handled, Santa places his Ant-Man presents under the tree and explains away all of the plot holes the sister pointed out in the last scene. For families that do Santa, this is a really nice thing. This piece of propaganda single-handedly extended my Santa-believing career another year. Time is frozen, presents are shrunk, he looks like a Christmas god. It all makes sense. Also, look at the gag of the present falling over. That's filmmaker stuff right there. The square thing to do would be to cut between two shots of small presents and big presents and have the VFX guy cut it out and make it big and do a handoff in between like a classic Michael Jackson black or white morph. But the present falling over, it's a little ingredient of believability. Santa movies are all about belief, and all the little things that they do in this movie are perfect. So then Santa drops the ball and unfreezes time.
What? Don't worry. It's not what you think. No. You're just hallucinating. Yeah. I'm not really. You're dreaming. Yes. Look over there.
Now Nick has even more problems. Not only is he out $30,000, but now he's got a warm body in his brother's living room and a witness. So Nick kills Danny. Nah, just kidding. People don't die in this story, they just get really big boo-boos.
I'm sure that there is a logical explanation for this.
Logical explanation.
Back to the VFX, this movie is honestly amazing from that perspective. It's a decom. But some of this stuff is so cool. This is one shot with good perspective and a nice track. The cameras are right, because it's so easy to just put somebody on a green screen like a meathead, but the lenses and everything were correct on this. They didn't have to go this hard. It's nothing too crazy or difficult. They just didn't need to do it. The kids would have been happy with a cutty sequence with easy handoffs, but they keep adding these little touches like long takes. It's so great. I love that stuff. Danny and Nick have their first semblance of a disagreement. Danny's worried about all the kids not getting their gifts, and that's not really a concern for Nick. If we look back at the beginning of this movie, Nick was set up as a scammer out to save his own ass. Danny was set up as a scammer trying to get money together to buy gifts for his family. And you can look at it as Danny neglected to set money aside for others, and now he's trying to cover what seems to be an obligation through unethical means. But the movie wants us to take it as Danny was doing a good thing in a bad way. Nick is amazed by the magic Christmas ball and sees an opportunity. I like that the actors are holding still when time is frozen. It's obvious because they're moving around slightly, but the camera can still move. If this were a still, you'd lose the life of the shot. Locked off tripods make VFX really easy, but that hands-on camera work gives so much life to it. Nick dissolves himself into Christmas dust and rematerializes on the sleigh. He goofs around for a bit and sees a scam in the making. He does all of this before unfreezing Danny, but he's gonna need Danny to pilot it because Danny's a true gamer. And this thing is operated by the same thing that Danny was playing in the beginning of the movie.
Christmas, we really should do something.
You know, you make a very good point. What if we pick up the gauntlet and selflessly fulfill Santa's miraculous mission ourselves?
Really?
Really?
But you were just saying that you didn't want to have anything to do with it.
That was then. This is now. You made me see the light. And you don't want all the kids in the world to go presentless, do you?
No, but I guess I'm just a little confused.
Santa's got a flight controller on his sleigh that's not too much different from the one I got you for your last birthday.
How do you know he has a flight controller on his sleigh like that?
I saw it. It's up. You will not believe. Trust me, you'll see it. Listen, you're the whiz at all these computer games, not me, so you'll be the pilot. I'll just deliver the presents. We'll be a team. We'll be heroes. We'll save the day. This is it, man. Huh?
The little guy wakes up and tries to have a Home Alone moment.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
They hit their first house, and while Danny's on the sleigh, Nick robs the place. He just can't help it. Also, I love all the miniatures that the art department had to make. Danny starts going through Santa's computer and finds that he's on the naughty list. But Nick says they should ignore the naughty list and give good gifts to every kid. Who's with me? The sister's now awake and grilling Santa.
First of all, there's no such thing as Santa. And second of all, even if there was, he wouldn't be caught dead in any house with Danny Wrigley in it.
Is that so, Caitlin? Well, you're not so angelic yourself. Or perhaps you didn't think I saw you copy that answer off Ricky Garibaldi's spelling test in the 3rd grade?
Santa still has faith in Danny until he finds out that Nick is with him.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation. Perhaps Danny, thinking I was incapacitated, is simply trying to deliver all the toys.
That'll be the day between him and Uncle Nick. The only thing they've ever saved.
Nick Wrigley has my sleigh? I mean, Danny, why, he's a little naughty from time to time, but Nick Wrigley is incorrigible.
Santa plans to use Nick's computer to hack the sleigh. Luckily, the little girl is a computer whiz.
Here's the plan. Okay, I hack into the computer on the sleigh, I override the flight control program, and I bring that puppy back like a well-trained homing pigeon. Okay, let's go.
Go? Where?
To the computer store. All the computers in our house are too weak for this job, but they have the new Lumax 2327s and the most powerful desktop in the world.
Wonderful. Let's go.
You know, you can drive, right?
Of course I can. Where do your parents park their sleigh?
Nick is robbing another house, and Danny's wondering why it's taking so long.
Where's Stern's gift? I got a better idea.
Well, I haven't delivered it yet.
What have you been doing down here so long, then?
Yeah, bathroom break. I mean, all the taking off and landing, just...
Zap it.
Punching bag?
This kid, Darren, his school record says that he's been getting into fights. And I figure he can pound on this thing instead of other kids.
That is way cool, Dan, my man.
Santa takes the kids to what appears to be the wrong part of town. Then he gets into a tickle fight with the lead hooligan. Through this, he earns their respect, and they make their way to the store. The sister finds something else to technobabble about.
Lumax 2327s. It's the most powerful home computer ever conceived, with a 1.2 terabyte hard drive and 6 gigahertz processor and 512 megs of RAM.
And I'm not really sure what she did apart from read the sign and switch it on, but she must be very smart. Back on the sleigh, Danny's planning their next move.
I get a good idea. Why don't we go to the homeless shelter?
Homeless shelter? They haven't got anything. So, yes, we should go there. Right, I'm with you. Or, hey, here's a great idea. Why don't we just zoom over to the Vanderlip mansion and spread some Christmas magic there?
There won't be any kids there. Just a whole bunch of grown-ups in fancy clothes and jewels having a party or something.
That's my idea, Danny. Listen, they're probably gonna have some kind of major feast, right? With caviar and roast beef, all the trimmings.
I guess, yeah.
So, this is where we outdo that old fogey Claus. We switch the dinners. Yeah, we let the rich folks see what life is really like for a change, while at the same time bring a little Christmas cheer to the downtrodden.
Man, you are a great Santa.
Off camera, they take a meal from the soup kitchen to do the swap, but they lose control. They power cycle the sleigh and get control back, just in time.
Can't believe I lost them.
That's it? Your brother has stolen my sleigh. He's obviously in cahoots with that uncle of yours. He's on the naughty list for life.
Meanwhile, at the mansion, Nick is getting more reckless with his robbery. Also, you gotta admire that wine prop. All the little stuff is very fun. Danny catches him in the act.
Uncle Nick, what are you doing?
I'm just mingling.
I thought there was something fishy about your lumpy stomach. There's stuff in there.
Stuff? What stuff?
I know this is the emotional climax, but this gag with the junk is so clean for a decom. To the point where I had to look into the director, Nick Castle. He also directed The Last Starfighter and has a ton of writing credits. That experience of knowing what's possible is really evident in the story. It wasn't written to be easy, but all the gags and effects are executed really well. It stands out obviously among decoms. I figured I'd give him another quick Google to make sure he wasn't outed for anything bad, and it turns out this dude is Michael Myers, the original actual Michael Myers. You know, when they brought back the original Michael Myers and it was a big deal, that's him. He directed Twas the Night. That's weird. Anyway, Danny is incredibly disappointed in Nick and questions everything.
You and me, we're done.
He calls it quits. Nick decides to part ways too, but he's trying to play it cool and Danny isn't having it.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I didn't tell you. But come on, what would you have said?
I would have said don't do it.
See, that's my point. Okay, it's all good now. Where to now?
Well, I'm going back home. See if I can really help Santa.
Yeah, right.
You're not coming back with me, are you?
You know, no, I don't think it's such a good idea.
That's what I thought.
Dan, my man. All right, pal. Danny?
What?
Hey, we still have Monaco, right?
You can't keep getting away with it!
Back at the house, everyone is eating their sadness cookies. Danny comes crashing in with the busted sleigh, but luckily, Technology Girl is on the case. Danny makes an effort to smooth things over with Santa.
I'm sorry, but I wasn't trying to steal your sleigh. I hope you believe me.
Frankly, son, I don't know what to believe anymore.
My Uncle Nick is just,
A scammer?
yeah,
How does it feel being the one scammed this time?
not good.
Nick is trying to figure out his next plan when the guys who are looking for him ask for directions.
Hey, buddy, we're looking for 300 Walnut Street. Let's go, it's gotta be around here somewhere.
He realizes that's the family's address. Bill Gates, Elliot, and the other guy show up looking for Nick. Santa tries his tickle move, but it's no use on Elliot.
Leave him alone.
Hope for your sake there's a present worth $30,000 in your bag.
Oh, I've got things worth a lot more than that.
Excellent!
But I can't give them to you.
Why not?
Not mine to give. It's not worth what I have to give up to keep it, so all these lovely things have to go back to the people they belong to.
Elliot, he's all yours.
Run, Uncle Nick!
Don't worry, Peter. This guy won't hurt me.
Why won't I hurt you?
You're just a scared, unhappy little man.
Did I mention little?
Remember, he's making a list.
They scurry off, and now we can clean up this emotional mess.
Good job, Nick.
Very touching, you guys. But this whole love fest doesn't exactly solve our problems.
What problems?
The sleigh is broken. You two jerks blew out the onboard computer. Would a powerful laptop work? Maybe.
Not Lappy.
Santa's going to return all the stolen stuff, and the family can spend the evening together as originally planned. Colonel Pendergast and Dr. Weir make it back from Stargate Command, and they're pleasantly surprised to see that nothing went wrong. Christmas morning arrives, and everyone's opening their presents, but there's one special one behind the tree. It's an off-brand SG that Nick was yapping about earlier on in the script.
All I ever asked for was one thing, a custom-made Jimi Hendrix sign, electric 6-string guitar with an ebony fingerboard from McCuzak's Muzak store.
Then Bryan Cranston does about as good as you can at faking a guitar solo, and it's time for our DCOM wrap-up monologue.
'Twas the morning of Christmas, the end of our tale. Santa brought all the stuff back. Uncle Nick didn't go to jail. So, that's the end of our story. Merry Christmas, everyone.
The end. This movie may have been a little too late to be the Christmas version of Halloween Town, or maybe it's just operating in a really saturated space. But all in all, it's a really great Christmas DCOM. Like, I almost feel stupid liking it this much. Am I crazy, or is it actually that good? I think it's that good. Danny has a great arc especially. He shows us who he is by denying what he isn't. The whole movie, everyone's talking about how bad he is. From the sister, the dad, Santa, but through his actions, we see him take the good path at every fork in the road. We don't know much about who this character is, but we know what he's not. There was a lot of talent throughout as well. You can feel the director in the room in every scene. But it's a cute family and a nice slice of 2001. At times, it's like if Hackers was a Christmas movie. Once every few years, I love throwing it on. A nice, cute little relic from the golden age of DCOMs. Let me know what you thought about this movie. Do you have a favorite Christmas DCOM? Subscribe for more. I wish you all the best with dealing with your problematic family members, and I hope that you find yourself a nice off-brand SG behind your tree this year.